In this video, I just want to discuss with you guys why they're getting rid of these books out of these libraries and schools in America. In this video, I'm just going to walk you through why they're doing what they're doing. Hatred is fear. So what are they afraid of? Well, this is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of African Americans realizing that they're the Aboriginal American people. And there's proof out there. It's all over the internet. A lot of people waking up to this stuff, and some people already know about it, but probably didn't tell you. So let's walk through this together.
You've had four of these major impacts that the black people have made to the Americas, not only before Columbus was born, but before even Spain or Italy existed. That's the kind of roots that are in this country.
This is a part of history that we're not allowed to know. And Noble Drew Ali was here to teach people this.
What connects it up is even the word Moor.
Okay, for those of you who don't know who Noble Drew Ali is, he's the founder of the Moorish Science Temple. He died back in 1929. Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Martin Luther King, to gain their knowledge from Noble Drew Ali. He created the Moorish Science Temple to help the Aboriginal American people claim their birthrights and get in their proper status. Okay? This is Noble Drew Ali. You see he's wearing a turban. Sometimes you wear fez. If you don't know what a fez is, look it up. It's part of your culture. Okay, he's wearing a turban with the feathers. Sometimes they have a jewel kind of dress, like Aladdin the movie. Will Smith. They had the turbans on, the feathers. Basically going back to your ancestors. Okay. Moors, right? You have Moors all around the world. You have Moors in America. You have Moors in Africa. You got Moors in Asia. Yes, you have dark-skinned and melanated Asian people too. And there's pyramids over there in Asia too that they got blocked off from the public. Check that out online. YouTube it. The question is why they're doing that, right? And they found pyramids in the water in Antarctica. I'm not Antarctica, but in the Atlantic Ocean. And there's pyramids in Antarctica as well. You can check that out. Okay, last time they said Antarctica tropical was maybe 28,000 years ago. Okay, but that's pretty much been covered up too. So it's been people on this planet for quite some time. Okay, it was the Moors that brought the Europeans out of darkness as well. This is a good documentary. It's a short story of the Moors in Europe, how they built all those temples that you see over there in Europe. Yeah, they brought the Europeans out of darkness. They ain't gonna teach that at school either. Check out this documentary. It's pretty good. But let's continue on this video.
Because it's pronounced differently in different parts even of Africa. And they call themselves Moor, Mu, Mur. There's all variations of that, so even the name Mur.
Noble Drew Ali was sent on a mission back to America, where he was from, to teach the Moorish people their true heritage. And he taught that there were Moors in America before there were what we know as Native American Indians, and that this history has been obscured and robbed. And it's not only robbed the so-called black people, it's robbed the white people. It's robbed everybody, because the knowledge is what's lost, And it's almost, you have humanity enslaving its best, taking the best part of itself and cutting it off.
So therefore, teach the people. They will solve the problem. That's why the Drew Ali said to the people, he says, this is your Moorish movement. The Negro problem is your problem. Even some of the Europeans are helping me. Why aren't you?
Wrote in, and I'm just researching this stuff on my own. I'm not being prompted to do it.
America is Morocco.
Yes.
Your brother from Morocco.
Thank you.
Noble Drew Ali was here to teach people this. The so-called black people, which were really of Moorish descent and heritage, their true heritage.
Yeah, never call yourself a color, people, okay? Colors don't have bloodlines or family trees. A color's not a noun. A noun is a person, right? So you've been manipulated to call yourself a color. And that puts you in a low status in society. If you're confused, don't know whether you're African American, you need to figure it out. Because that's not correct. Either you can't be both. Like I said, you have Moors pretty much all around the world. There's Moors in Australia. And they're claiming getting their nationality claimed over there too as well. You know, they land been pretty much snatched. But this is a global problem.
And that this whole stuff about African slaves, I mean, look, there were a lot of slaves brought over from Africa, don't get me wrong. But this was not where all the black people came from. There were black people of Moorish descent here in America.
And by knowing that, and the more you know about it, it's an empowerment. You're really rude. You have got a heritage which is more than slavery. Sure, there was slavery, but that's not all. That's all part of it. Long before that, there's a heritage of kings, seafarers, religious missionaries, and they were all here. But it happened so long ago, there's just so little of it left.
You know what I'm saying? That's the advantage that other people have because they know your real history and you don't. Are you clear?
This is a part of history that we're not allowed to know. And Noble Drew Ali was here to teach people this.
Now, Noble Drew Ali.
So basically, most people on the planet, they know who you are, but everybody's kind of quiet about it because they're living better than you in your own land. It's like you're the landlords of the land, not the tenants, but it's been flip-flopped around. So basically, you have peace treaties between the Moors over here in America and the Europeans. They ain't telling you about that. And the United States is a corporation. Obama tried to tell you that. It's a company no different than Walmart, Lowe's, McDonald's, and Amazon. You know, United States is a corporation. It's not America.
Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali established the Moorish Divine and National Movement in North America really around 1911, 1912, and officially active 1913. A lot of preliminary work was going on before the movement was initially, or what you call officially, established. So whereas people look at it as the movement starting in 1913, that's the official date of what you say official activity. But the business was going on for quite some time.
The history of Noble Drew Ali was that he was at a Pan-American conference in Havana, Cuba, where all of the dignitaries, state diplomats from all countries of the world, particularly Pan-American countries, gathered to, and he was shown a mandate, which basically showed that the America was the rightful possession of the Moors. And this mandate was so powerful, and I believe it was showed to him by the Secretary of State, or the Secretary of State of America saw it. But after this conference in 1928, all of the European countries pulled their money out of America because they saw that America was risky, because the true corporate shenanigans of the entire country were being, and the sovereignty of America as it stood was being threatened by the presence of Noble Drew Ali and this mandate.
Fact is, that part of history is not taught to separate you from your authority, your self-authority, the empire of the world, and particularly the...
Basically, unfortunately, some of your people sold you out. It's called the Great Sellout, or the Great Masonic Secret, you not knowing that you already own.
Moroccan Empire in which you're standing right now. How come you ain't getting this in school? Because they don't want you to know that you're standing on Morocco. That the land is Morocco, the occupational government is the...
Yeah, if you take America, you drop the A I of American, change the vowels around in English language. What is the vowels? A-E-I-O-U, right? You change the vowels around, you get Morocco from America. It's right in your face. And the real flag is red with a green star in the center. It ain't just in Morocco. If you type up Google the Moroccan Empire, click on Google Image and scroll down, you'll see flags of how big the Moroccan Empire is. All the continents on the west coast of the planet, as well as West Africa.
The United States, distinguished from the land, it's a foreign religious corporation belonging to the Jesuits. You're under occupation.
Morocco was the first nation in the world to recognize the United States of America 237 years ago. December 1777. So I come here to say thank you.
The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco. Signing the treaty.
This treaty specifically deals with Moors. The question that may arise, how do we know that where the treaty says Moors, the so-called black people of the time is being referred to? The Moors were considered citizens or part of the we the people who ratified the Constitution. It says, quote, thus an act was passed in Massachusetts on the 6th of March, 1788, forbidding any Negro not a subject of the Empire of Morocco or a citizen of the United States from tarrying in the Commonwealth, unquote. For this would show that those who referred to as Negroes were actually Moors, and that they were on the same footing or status as citizens. Those who remembered that they were Moors used the Moroccan Treaty of 1787 to secure the rights on the same footing as the state citizens without otherwise being obligated members of their social equality, while those who were brainwashed into
This peace treaty of friendship back in 1787 to stop the wars over here. People weren't prisoners. Your people were prisoners of wars, not slaves. But they ain't telling you. Taking advantage of you not knowing this stuff. You know, basically you're being attacked not because of your skin color, because of them scare you waking up and realize you're already home. Is it starting to make sense? That peace treaty is created by your ancestors to enforce on people who don't belong here. That's all you need in courts.
Believing they were Negroes, descendants of Africans brought here by Europeans, were unprotected by the Moroccan Treaty, as well as the Articles of Confederation and the Constitution.
The Constitution is their sanction to do business at Morocco. There's that business flag of amity and commerce. Now you understand why you have that Moorish flag, and then you have the stars and stripes. It's a banner. It's not the national flag. This is the national flag. It's your history. You're standing on your own land, trying to go to Africa, and you're standing on Africa. The Constitution is their obligation. That's not some instrument that, it's interesting if you all know something about it. And if you don't, it's not important. Why do you think politicians don't teach the Constitution to children in schools? Because that's the document that gives them the authority to do everything that they're doing. Without the Constitution, there is no government. Once you understand that, you understand where you need to be to protect your Moorish birthright. And the Moorish birthright is to protect the Constitution and to enforce the Constitution. The abuses that you've been getting is because that document has not been enforced. It has not been enforced because you ain't been in your proper person. Y'all been busy being colored people. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So concept of mind, get out of it. You're not Negro, black, and colored, and you got to be that, not that, officially. That's what nationalization process is for. That's why he did it. Do you understand? These have political ramifications. So it changes your political status in the society for the record. That's number one, because it's documented now. You see what I'm saying? So that gives you a standing at law across the world. Now, do you know what to do with that? That's the next issue. Do you know how to proceed with that? Those are the parts of the information that was suppressed by the subversives, COINTELPRO, etc., that was inverted into this movement with the FBI, CIA, etc., which is really the OSS, to subvert this movement. Having the people think it's a religious movement when actually it's a movement to bring people back into the constitutional fold of government and to enforce that constitution for the protection of all the people. But he knew that they could not be protected as Negro, black, and colored because that's a category of a caste system. It's not.
So you put yourself in a dead status when you saying that. Which basically, you basically saying don't know who you are.
Human. It is not human. Does not pertain to humanity. It is outside of the human family, therefore outside the law, therefore outlawed.
So there was all this in United States of America becoming a corporation and all these sort of sleight of hand legal manipulations, which is not my expertise, but you can study them and they certainly exist. And this was all as a result of the presence of Noble Drew Ali in this world.
And everybody knows that, but that kind of spoils the game that they've been playing on our people. You see the point? Because everybody around the world knows that the United States is a corporation, not the land. And our people keep calling the United States Corporation Company.
America's not a country, it's a continent.
Country, which gives them the sovereign right, because you're the heir. Whatever you say, you've just assigned them. Then they call them Americans and call the country America, but you just assigned them to the sovereign.
The heir means you inherited something.
Which means these people don't even know geography. America's not a country, it's two continents. They're incompetent. And don't understand that when they say those things, in law, it's what you say. What you mean is irrelevant. What you said is what it is. And this is what makes it dangerous for our people to get this information and not be given law. Because their arguments will be based in emotion, totally correct emotionally, totally correct symptomatic, but in law legally can. Problem is that they're not aware of the legal ramifications because they don't study law. See the problem? You know, and so all these things which the Europeans have been using to take advantage of our people because they don't study.
I know we start waking up to this stuff, like, oh, this whole time I've been played for a fool. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts the ego, but, you know, only thing you do is just learn and make sure it don't happen. Get to you in the near future or whatever. Yeah, it hurts the ego.
And it doesn't fit their beliefs. Here we go.
Corporation's a dead entity, has no soul.
The other thing that they like to talk about is the idea that the United States is a corporation, right?
Yes. Well, it is. That's true. The United States.
And to systematically bring the correct information so that when, as Moors become conscious and they get repressed by the corporations, which is substituting as a government, that they have some redress, some method of redress.
Noble Drew Ali was here to teach people this.
Look at the timeline. When Drew Ali established the Moorish Divine National Movement in 1913, all right, on the other side of the government, they met and they established the Internal Revenue Service. Yes, Federal Reserve System. Now, when Drew Ali was doing his work and about to establish this movement officially, Woodrow Wilson had got his degree at Johns Hopkins University, his PhD. And he was being, at that time, courted for the election to the presidency of the United States Republic. Now, during the Wilson administration, to counter Noble Drew Ali, and you must really understand this so you can understand a lot of activities that are going on with a lot of different groups.
But what we do know is that after that conference, there was a stock market crash because of this, and then the entire country was reorganized and reincorporated. And you had all this FDR coming along in the 1932 and Admiralty Court superseding the regular United States Constitutional Court and the taken off of the gold standard.
That's when Wilson, he's a knight. What you call President Wilson. They made deals, and what they did, they were in the process of stealing your gold and your silver. Now, do you know what separations of powers is? When our forefathers set up this Constitution in order to stop these wars between the Moors and the Roman nations and set up the United States uniquely as a symbol for the rest of the world, as a pattern to go back to the ancient laws and principles of civilization which were founded by the Moors, which were violated, which is why you are having these wars in the first place.
Noble Drew Ali was here to teach people this, that America was Almarikanos. We got the name America from Almarikanos, not from Amerigo Vespucci. And Almarikanos means El Morocco, and that Morocco was the Sultanate of Morocco was the ruler of America at one point. Now this goes back into a very deep history.
He also knows that North America is known as Al-Maghreb Al-Aqsa.
Of course, I know that. North America was known as Al-Maghreb Al-Aqsa, and it reported to Sultan of Morocco.
And of course, Barack Obama has to know about the Moors because he's from Chicago. And I'm told that even the white people in Chicago know about the Moors because they have a very strong presence in the parades.
The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco.
Good. Hey, tell my brothers, boy. America, Morocco.
Oh yeah, Morocco. America is Morocco.
Yes.
Your brother from Morocco.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, let the people know, the kingdom know, we're the empire.
Ah. It's America, Morocco.
Yeah, Maghreb.
America, Morocco.
Maghreb.
Yes.
Maghreb Alexa.
Maghreb. Maghreb.
The relation between the first, colonials and the governors of Morocco, because they communicated, because on paper it was part of Greater Morocco.
That's known.
And part of that settlement was that Moorish citizens, going back years, hundreds of years in some cases, should be released. And all they needed to do was go to the president, go to the White House and say, I am a free Moorish national. Let me go, and they would be freed from bondage.
Moorish Americans are indigenous to America.
The problem with George Washington is not that he didn't recognize it, was that he didn't announce it. He didn't make it known. He obscured the fact, even from his own slaves. He didn't tell them, we made a deal with the Moroccans and you can go if you're a Moorish national. And so this is George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. And this is a part of history that we're not allowed to know. And Noble Drew Ali was here to teach people this.
Moorish Americans are indigenous to America.
The story of George Washington and the chopping down of the cherry tree. The Moroccan flag was the red flag, the red standard. It was called the cherry tree because it was red. Originally it was pure red. They later put a green saber on it or a green pentagram on it to distinguish it from maritime red flags. But it was originally red and it was called the cherry tree.
Now, it is a great Masonic secret that has long been revealed that it was George Washington who chopped down the cherry tree of the Moors, erasing them from the history books and removing them.
And you notice that star that's on the center of the Moroccan flag, it's always labeled as something demonic. You notice that? I mean, it's just to keep you away from your own shit. You catch that? The star really represents the 5 points of the human body: head, arms, and legs. Okay?
Their nationality, faith, and service. It was even predicted that in a few hundred years, many of them would not remember who they were or their connection to the land.
So George Washington chopping down the cherry tree referred to the fact that the first treaty with the United States of America was with Morocco, and part of that arrangement between their diplomacies was that Morocco had sued America during the Revolutionary War because they were enslaving their people. The Sultan was so they sued America, and America did not respond. So Morocco started taking hostage American ships hostage, and this resulted in a diplomatic squabble, which eventually was settled with the first peace treaty of the United States of America.
The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco. In signing the treaty,
it was Morocco who supported and gave rise to the independence of the United States of America as it has been recognized by President Obama.
The first nation to recognize my country
was Morocco.
And so this is George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. And this is a part of history that we're not allowed to know. And
yeah, let me show you some more proof on more of these documentaries. Stuff you can't debunk.
Issues of law are threefold. The issues of law are status, jurisdiction, and adjudication. The first thing that happens when you walk into a courtroom in your corporate ward status is that they already make the assumption that you are a ward of the state and that you don't know any better. So they immediately start adjudicating you. As the first thing that happens when we walk into a courtroom is that we place our status on the record. On the record. We come in with our flag. We come in with our treaty. We come in with the Constitution we signed with them, and understanding that the Constitution is a contract. It's a contract between who? It's a contract between the United States Republic and the United States of America. But there are certain clauses in that contract that apply to Moors, which takes us back to the Treaty of 1787. But that contract between the United States and the United States of America does not apply to us other than that part that discusses the treaty. So it's not relevant for us to go into any courtroom and argue about their ordinances, their codes, their statutes. The only thing we're in there to talk about is, have we violated the treaty? Have we violated that part, which is Article 6 of the Constitution, that applies to us? That's the only question in the courtroom. Because the status of the individuals looks like this.
So when you go in these courtrooms, they already got you labeled as pretty much cattle property. Like, you really don't know what you're talking about.
Corporations are people.
Corporations is not a person. It doesn't have
that seems kind of racist, George.
It's not a living being.
I am going to move on because one of your top supporters.
I bet you will.
We could raise taxes on people. That's not the way. Corporations are people, my friend. We can raise taxes on. Of course they are. Everything corporations earn ultimately goes to people. So, where do you think it goes? Whose pockets? Whose pockets? People's pockets. Okay, human beings, my friend.
And everybody knows that, but that kind of spoils the game that they've been playing on our people. You see the point? When they incorporated
This land that you stand on, that you think is America, this is actually Africa. The dear Mississippi that you love, that you know of, that's the Nile River. This is our land. You are Aboriginal Indigenous American. You are a Moorish American. So where is their green card? Where is their green card? Huh? Huh? They need weapons. We don't need no weapons. Huh? Huh? Stop calling us black. We're not African American. We Moorish American. Aboriginal Indigenous. So right over there. Know the laws of the land. Know your birthright and nationality. You are a Moorish American. Fight for your nationality. The Pope says stand up. The Pope says stand up. The Pope says stand up. Know the land. Know the laws of the land. You are an Aboriginal Indigenous American.
Moorish Americans are indigenous.
See, Martin Luther King trying to wake people up about this back in his time, and Malcolm X. Can't make this stuff up. You just can't, people. You can't. He's a more American in the courtroom. He's exercised the peace treaty of friendship in the Constitution. That's all he needs. And make sure his status correct. He ain't going to be saying he a color or some African. He's saying he's a more American. He knows who he is. He's honoring his ancestors.
I object to any court-appointed officers for standing in. Is this being recorded? I'm being violated. My due process is being violated. I have the right to speak to the record. And if you want to take a stand down and the question is? I need to know what laws we're working under, because I already objected to any public defender, officer of the court. Any. They are incompetent. I am private counsel. I'm an authorized representative. I'm the authorized representative for the trust. I'm the trustee of the account. I'm not entering any plea. Okay, so
people
are you Article 3 judges? This is the Article 3 court. I'm not here to challenge the charges. I'm here to challenge the jurisdiction. You told me that you have jurisdiction. Based on what account? Are you a party in the matter?
No, the state on the state will be ready on the 7th of October, Judge, when we usually try cases for the property.
Objection. Is this party?
People object.
Let the record reflect that the judge is violating due process of law. What law are we working under? I'm here on the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1786, 1787, recently signed by dear President Barack Hussein Obama, and I'm here to enforce the Constitution, the rights of indigenous people, and the human rights charter. Now, we're here on the doctrine of discovery, which is the Christopher Columbus story. I object. This is not an Article 3 court. You are not an Article 3 judge. These are all statutes, ordinances, and resolutions that do not apply to the natural people of America. Objection. Have you received my doctrine of discovery? Have you received my written affidavit, my proclamation? Have you received the United States John Kerry sign sealed on that trademark, that trade name? Sir, here October 7th will be the bench warrant for your arrest. I thought this was a trial. Wasn't this a trial?
Let him leave a bit. Let it reflect that the judge left a bit.
The judge has left the still has not stated for the record what law.
You see, what some people don't realize is, he knows that it's corporation, it's company, and he knows that the birth certificate and marriage certificates are bank bonds. The name on the birth certificate that people think is really them is really a fake person. Some people call it straw man. Check out the history of the birth certificate on YouTube. It's all over the internet. Also, you can see how much you're worth because you're pretty much, the cattle stock or the stock market. Go to the Federal Reserve website and put in that Social Security number, which is a bank account connected to the bank bond. You can see how much you're worth in the stock market. Everybody doing that's all viral too. It's no surprise. Real stuff. It's all fraud. It's all fraud. Some people, found out that they're worth millions on the stock market. So when you claim your birthright, they can't make money off you anymore. Like your ancestors, they're dead and all this stuff, but they're still making money off them on the stock market. He understands how the game's being played.
He abandoned the ship.
Let the record reflect that the case has been dismissed because the judge abandoned the bench. Let's go. Have a good day, sir.
This is man over here, he's a more American. He's exercised his rights. He's exercising that Constitution, the Peace Treaty of Friendship of 1786 and 87. And he's up somewhere in being pulled over by a SWAT of cars, okay? Police. And he has the real American flag hanging outside of his door. Some people call America Morocco.
They ain't got no fucking jurisdiction over us. We're Moors, and they know this flag means. They know what this means. Yeah. Oh, they know what this means. They ain't dumb. They ain't dumb. They know this right, bro. They swore an oath on this. They took an oath on this. Yeah, they took an oath on this.
This joint crazy.
No, they swore an oath on this. Nah, they know. Y'all wanna know the day?
We gonna know the day, right?
Y'all fictitious fake. That's what the U.S. citizen day fake fictitious. Fake fictitious. That's what y'all are. Y'all got no jurisdiction over us.
Yeah, fuck me.
Sir, they ain't got no jurisdiction. This is our flag. You ain't lying back. They can't stop you from doing nothing. They get ready to get sued. Get out of here. Get your supervisor. Think you is. All this. I ain't under none of y'all's jurisdiction. Fuck out of here.
My man going. Pittsburgh, PA.
Yeah! Dude is killing me.
Oh, you ain't know about this? Oh, you tripping. Yeah. Yeah, you tripping. This real shit. This ain't no bullshit. Oh.
Hey, go away, buddy.
I was getting a flag.
No,
Me? Get the fuck up out of here. Hey.
They knew that. They knew that shit. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here.
My man gone on him. Bye.
You know how you know it's all fake. It's all fraud. That's it. Shit. Get an update on him. See what happened right after he drove off.
But once you start talking that stuff, I was
She
like,
ain't touch him.
You see how them motherfuckers wouldn't get the supervisor?
Let me tell you something. You read
You
them
see
there,
that?
motherfucker. Right.
Look here, you see her? She's a beast. Yo, watch her. Get her, dog. Get her and get Stephanie. Stephanie, get all of them. I want y'all to watch all of them, and I want y'all to see
It popped up as soon as I typed it in.
Yeah, I know you're right. Know thyself.
No, man, we got noble rights, civil rights. That's why we always lose it. We made these motherfuckers civil. We got noble rights. They were noble. We're noble. We're kings and queens for real. Man, we gotta stand on this and be that shit.
That fez is your crown.
Look here. Put it on the big screen. Write everything down. Get you a sharp pencil.
I'm about to post
and some
all
paper.
this.
Man, post all that, dog.
Yeah, I'm about to post all
I
this.
am. Where's your dad? But once you start talking that stuff, I was
Shit.
like,
You see how them motherfuckers wouldn't get the supervisor?
let me tell you something. You
Yeah, that's the paperwork you go through, when you come to claim your nationality, your birth rights and stuff like that. Some people already got nationality cards, as you can see in this video. It's not that hard to do. That's a nationality card. It's Noble Drew Ali. That's an example of what it looks like. That name that you carried around on that bank bond card or birth certificate is not you. It's a straw man, a fake person. Okay, there's people out here already doing this. Some of you guys are behind. There are some people out here that can help you guys out with claiming your nationality if you choose to. Some people can walk you through the process, not that difficult. You know, it's a YouTube channel called The Rise of the Moors. You can contact them. You can contact the House of Reawakening Minds. You can contact them. You can contact her right here. You know, she could walk you through the process. It's not that difficult. Just pick who you want to deal with. And yeah, I just wanted to share that information with you guys. You know, it's a whole lot of things out there that's it's coming to light, you know. And some people out there, they're doing their thing, you know, and they're exercising their rights. You know, everybody has the free will to do the same. They just have to take action. And yeah, I'm let you guys go.